And we're going to start off. If you want to book a reading, you could do so through my shop. And the mini psychic readings, these are tarot. You could, they are 15. So anything for love or career. But if you want a free yes and no, I'm going to be doing crystal ball readings. And I will get to you in a second. All right, guys. So I'm going to be starting the free crystal ball. These are yes and no questions. Let's see. You make sure if you're going to participate in the free yes and no that you subscribe. You don't have to like or share or anything, but if you subscribe. Okay, let's see. So this one is for Corinne. Does Copeland like you more than a friend? No, not at this time. This looks like two people driving together somewhere, so I'm not sure what that's about. It's also two people sitting next to each other as well. So no, I do see the companionship, but I don't see that there's a romantic vibe. I see his interest, like there's a mixed signal there. I think you can understand where he's very focused on what he's like into, and not so much like the eye to eye, that romantic-y kind of magnetic connection that's a dead giveaway. I don't see it there. All right, let's see. Did I get to the next question? So this one is, will your dad find a job soon? So this is for Miyumi or Miyu. Miyu. Okay, one second. Yes. This talks about him in a situation where there's networking. There's a couple of people sitting where he's sitting. I suggest he keeps trying to network with people, if you understand what I mean. So this is the like friendly talk, going here, going there, continuing to that human touch. So I know a lot of things are online, but this is continuing to network with people. Yes, I do see him getting a job. Yes, and there's a man and a woman sitting near him talking about something that's a project. So yes, I do. Okay, let's see. But again, reminding you to let him know, keep communicating, keep asking, keep on the social part. Tell him not to stay hopeless. Tell him to don't focus on the negative. Tell him to focus on the positive. Do you guys believe in like amulets and things like that? Are you guys, what is your traditional culture? So that I can assign you something that jives with your culture. What culture do you identify with, you and your dad? So for example, what is your native tongue? Do you feel more North Americanized? Do you feel that English is what you choose? Or is there something, what do you feel? Okay, so a mixture of Japanese and white. Okay, so for the Japanese, there are a lot of herbs that open good fortune. There are a lot of things that you can have that are omens of good luck that are part of your culture. You can use jade because jade is not only China, it is also Japan. The Japanese also use jade. You also use certain plants that are specific. The koi fish is not just Chinese, it is also Japanese as well. There are many symbols. I'm sure there's something he grew up with in his childhood, or your mom, or both of you, or maybe all three of you, where you feel culturally that it represents good luck. Tell him to start thinking about that. Stop feeling hopeless. And the more that he communicates with people, and he seems like very, I got to get this done. Like my mindset is I'm going to achieve it. It's going to help him get it anyway. But yes, I do see him achieving something. Okay? Don't worry, sweetheart. All right, honey. Okay, guys, if you have a free yes and no, go ahead and put it down below. Emily, will something romantic ever happen between you and Elijah? Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. When he gets his job, pop in and give us the good news, okay? All right, let's see. Emily asking about, will something, when you said Will with a capital W, I thought it was Will, like that's his name, Will. Will something ever happen between you and Elijah? All right. Not at this time. I don't see him pursuing you romantically. I see that there's bonding, communication. I don't see the focus. Now, this can change, but at this time in the very near future, I don't see that. But that doesn't mean give up, Okay, let's see. Lindsay, had a moment with your crush this weekend. Will it end up a couple? Okay, not a problem. So this is for Lindsay. Not at this time. I would go further to say that there's someone he's not over. So I don't know if he has a child with someone, or there's something in his past that's not, it ended, but there's a lot of things that is still impressionable with him. This doesn't mean it's forever. This just means that, there's a hurdle there. And you just kind of have to, wait a little bit for that to, in other words, keep trying, keep manifesting. But at this time, I would say no, not, I don't see it taking wings and just, continuing. So their attraction is there, but he's not fully available. All right. So, all right, let's see. Kat and May, will you get back together with Jordan? Yes, there's something also for Christmas. I don't know if you celebrate that or whatever, but yes, there's something around that time. Here's the thing, though. There's a pattern going on. So the relationship health and continuance is a whole different subject. But as far as the reconciliation, I do see physical affection. And this is a yes, okay? All right, let's see. Did I miss something? Oh, okay, no problem, sweetheart. No problem. Let me go ahead and open that up for you. Give me 1 second here. Did you send it through... Oh, okay, I see it here. Yes. Okay, you did it through the, okay. And I see your question. Okay, not a problem. You want to meet me when I do my readings on here, they're very censored. So do you want to meet me on the other place with the stream? The letter Y, the letter T? Because over there I do it and I can say anything. I'm on there now. Yeah, I'm on there now. So there's no holding back on anything. Okay, thank you. Turtle Man is asking, will I have a lot of money? So define a lot and when. If you're looking for lottery winnings, inheritances, marrying rich, investments, that would be in your natal chart. And if it's there, I will definitely find it and tell you. All right, but that doesn't mean small jackpots and small things can't happen that are nice, fat numbers, but they're not life-changing numbers. Those are also available as well, all right? Yeah, if you're looking for the big stuff, you need to book an astrology with me. If you're looking for just a nice chunk, but like now, you know, like enough for a car or something like that, a bit more, you know, that'll come out in a tarot reading definitely. If you're looking for long-term big money, I gotta look in the stars. All right, not a problem. Hey guys, I'll be back. I'm gonna be doing a paid read and I'll be back on this one. Let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. So you're looking to see, Paula, if you're going to be in a relationship in 2026, not a problem. Let's see. So remember, guys, I'm also going to be offering a year reading. So some people like New Year's readings to see their horoscope for the year. Those are a lot of fun. But yes, let's look into that part of 2026. All right, so I'm just doing an energy check reading on love for you. So starting out with a little dice reading. And this one, let me make sure I put this on so I give the whole amount. Okay, there we go. I would say that the energy here is there's two people that show up. One is afraid to move further. So there's kind of like one connection that's romantic that's kind of like on hold a bit. And then there's another one where there's a little bit of a distance happening. So not too much, but it went from like super close to like being, you know, a little bit farther apart. So sometimes that happens with travel or maybe like, you know, business worries or something, but I just wanted to check on there. All right, let's go ahead and start this. So this is, the question is, in 2026, where there'll be, will you be in a relationship? Okay. We are, all right. So this is the situation. The reading begins with a current connection with someone. The answer is no. Do I see you in a relationship in 2026? No. You will be going to, anytime I mention the word therapy, it has to be a very kind of like a delicate way that I say this. So, okay, I'm sorry. You're right. You're writing a bunch of things here. You said, okay. So, I remember that we had a reading. I don't remember. It's in the archive, like on my channel on here, like somewhere, because I keep record of it in case the client wants to go back or whatever. So I do remember something about that there was a very attractive connection with a neighbor or something, and you were very, very happy about it. And I felt really bad because I'm saying to myself, it looks like he wants to, go dance with her, but he doesn't want to like commit. So I didn't want to give you the bad news because obviously I wanted good news for you. Then there was, I think it was that other guy that's liked you for like so many years, but he's really respectful, but there's something really, really there, but it's difficult. And I remember that it was a harsh reading, and I thought, oh, she's not going to like me. She's never going to get a reading again because you're very, you're not giving her the news she wants to hear, and it's really strong stuff. And I understand, but I got to be honest. So it was rough. I remember it being pretty rough. This one is not easy. Are you going to have a relationship in 2026? No. Let me tell you what is in the forecast. The reading begins with a connection with a person that it seems like there could be a very long history with this person. Like, in other words, this is the crush that you had, or I don't know if you want to call it crush, maybe like interest. We could call it interest in the neighbor guy or whatever. It looks like there was a lot of things that you were seeing and thinking to yourself, this could fit your comfort. This could definitely become long-term. When you looked at the situation, it talks about a person saying, I could really see this long-term for me. Like, I really like all the boxes I'm checking off. I see that it didn't pan out that way. I also see there's something about him you're not noticing. This is, I think, where you kind of, maybe I upset you when I say this. I understand. I know you see him as a great person, but I'm telling you that he is into sleeping with women. I don't know how much you handle. I don't know. I don't know how much it would be kind of weird that you would look at neighbors through surveillance. I know that would be really weird. But if you were to keep more tabs on people that visit and go there, you would notice there's several people he rendezvous with, okay? So this is a man that has lovers, whether you notice it or not. You could also pay a PI if you're curious, So this is a man who has, on occasion, had several female friends, if you know what I mean. Did he decide to take a hiatus to try to date you for a little bit? Yes. But don't be surprised if you see a woman pull up in a car or an Uber. I'm just saying. He's very secretive, and this is a man who has several lovers. So, right, and I told you there was something secret about him, something shady. What else do I see? I see that he's going to continue to try to continue that with you. So he does want to see you. He just doesn't want commitment to you. So he's going to paint it as very different too. The next thing, he's telling you he wants to be friends, but he wants friends with benefits. Now, another thing that's going to be happening in 2026 for you is that the gentleman that has that respect for you, that ended up being a friend of your spouse's, of course, of course. No, I remember that you're a very traditional person. I remember that. But notice, you're not the one I'm worried about, because you are very traditional and very respectable. What I'm concerned about is for you to realize his intention, because I do believe that you feel he's a wonderful, great person. Of course, no, and I like your style. You're very traditional, and you're like a no drama type of person. I like that very much. I respect that. But and that's the way to do things, honestly, especially since he's a neighbor, but the thing is, I would really want you to realize he tries to be very chivalrous and very correct, and in reality he has a very different face. Right. I know that I told you that in the last reading, and I know it upset you, and that's okay. If you're a Taurus, I think you were a Taurus. Tauruses and I sometimes butt heads, and it's kind of funny that way. I have a lot of clients that are Taurus, and I'll tell them something, they're like, whatever. And then they come back, and they're like, okay, maybe, I don't care. I'm like, okay, I told you. So what's going to be happening with, but okay, so let me tell you, this neighbor guy, he's going to try really smoothly to lead you on again. Say you don't believe me. I hear you. Yeah, I know you don't believe me, but he's going to. Now, the next thing that's going to happen at some point in 2026 is that, excuse me, I hiccuped. At 2026 is that the gentleman that had, I think, Libra or something, the one that has a lot of respect for you, that he was a friend of your spouse and everything like that, he's going to take note of the fact that this gentleman likes you. I don't know how he finds out. Maybe he's a very observant man, or maybe one day he sees the other one come over and say hello, or maybe there's something he sees. I don't know what it is, but he's going to take note, and he's going to tell you at some point something where he's never crossed the line, this guy, the Libra guy. He's always stayed in check. But there's something that might be more hinting this time. Exactly. There's something more. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. There's something that makes him say, oh my gosh, like if I don't say something, she's going to go with somebody else. So you got to realize, from your perspective, you're probably like, that's not happening. But yeah, okay. Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah. There's something that makes him just say, I really need to try a little bit more. So you're going to see his effort intensify, but he's not going to leave that respectful place, which is difficult. You're also in 2026 going to be feeling older than you are, because you're very young, but this emotional roller coaster that you have gone through sometimes can make any human feel older than what they are. They could be super young and they feel so worn out by it. And I do see therapy playing a role. So, of course, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I don't address those things. That's up to the client. But I do see the client going for some therapy. So that's why I'm saying maybe you'll be curious about it. Maybe it'll just be one session. Maybe you will do a phone one with some session. I don't know, but this is what this talks about. Yeah, and you should realize that if you don't open your mouth and you just walk into a room, most people will think you're a very young age. And then when you leave that room, you will feel like you're 90 years old. And it's like, what? She doesn't, like, what the hell? Why does she feel that way? So what you look like on the outside does not match what you feel on the inside. Okay, So I do see you going to a different kind of therapy. Maybe today that sounds ridiculous, but maybe in the future you might just meet the right person, and you know, as far as like a friend, or maybe you see a commercial or an ad or marketing or something that draws your attention. You know, I don't know, but I do see that you have at least 1 or 2 sessions. Yeah, so I do see that. I also see that maybe you talked to someone that went through that. That's also a way that this plays out in this card. It's like when a person meets someone and they tell them, well, you know, this person went through this and this, and then you're like, really? And, you know, it inspires you. That is what I see. I see that 2026 is a kind of like a slow-paced pattern that forces you to say, you know what, this pattern is continuing, and if I don't do something, it's going to stay the same stagnation. So it's kind of like today you believe that it's all going to work out, but tomorrow you're going to say, okay, 5 months have gone by in 2026, this is not working, I need to do something because I can't stick with another 2025. This needs to change. And this is what this talks about. So do I see a relationship with you? No, I don't. I still see the Libra highly interested, but I see him very scared. I see him, you know, coming forth with a little bit of effort in a different way, but still within that like respectful space. You will notice though, the interest, you will notice it's a little bit more, you know, and you will see the neighbor try again. But I know you won't fall for it, so that's good. Other than that, that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, this is the answer to that. So no. But the good news is that in 2026, you know, things become revealed to you. No, the Libra is in love with you. I don't remember if he's a Libra or not. Let's just call him the gentleman from a long time, because you guys have a long history, you know, of friendships and stuff. The long time guy, he's interested in pursuing a relationship with you because, you know, he's very interested in you. Yeah, he's very interested in you. It's just that he's also very traditional and very respectful. So he admires a friendship, but he also sees you as an attractive woman that he would love to be with, but he also is very scared that he, you know, he doesn't want, it's a delicate subject, and any person with respect and morals, yeah, it's understandable that he has, you know, been so protective in the way that he's not going to sit there pursuing aggressively. It's just not in good taste. Right. It's awkward. It's awkward. There, you know, there's got to be, you know, it's all from, yeah, right. Which is why I'm saying to you, 2026, at some point you find yourself tired of, like, maybe like 5 months in, 6 months in, something like that. You find yourself bored of the same pattern. 2026 seems to me like for you, it's going to be a realization. Like, this is where the game needs to change. This is where the pattern needs to change. And you realize that it's within you. Yeah. You were really into that guy. I felt really bad because, you know, I think the first time we met, you know, the reading was really smooth. You know, the next one was really smooth. And that third one, I said, oh my goodness, she really likes him. And I'm trying to tell her, and she's just not hearing it. I understand, sweetie. I understand. 2026 is going to be the game changer. It's going to be what sets you on a different, you know, it's kind of like, let me try this, let me try that, you know, because you get bored. You start to see the same result. That's what 2026 is for you. That's good. I like that. But I didn't look into your career because this is a very limited reading on love. So, it's just like love stuff. So I didn't look into that for you. But no, if you're telling me, I'm sure. Good stuff. It's an intense year. It's good. It's very good. But it's not, there are some changes that need to take place before the relationship begins, which in a way you think about it, is good, because imagine that you're not ready and you meet a great person that your spouse sent you. Imagine that. Imagine that your spouse sends you someone to enter your life, whether it's the Libra or not, or someone new, and you're not ready. That would be terrible. So you have to be ready, So he definitely doesn't want you alone the rest of your life. Definitely does not. And you know that he doesn't. You know that you have his blessing. So, and it's a healthy thing for you. You're a human being, and you have to keep living your life, and you need support, and you need to share your life with someone. And yes, so you gotta start thinking about that too. Well, in my opinion, you're jumping the gun, because you're not ready for your heart is ready. Your heart is ready for companionship, because companionship is being a normal, healthy person that's alive. And every human being needs some form of companionship, friendship, love, warmth. We're humans, we're mammals, like we're meant to have warmth. So it's normal that your heart wants that. But your mind and your spirit and your fears and a lot of you is not ready. So when your mind is not ready, but your heart is, there's a disconnect. And your mind has a lot of fears and worries, and your mind wants to fit in the comfort again. The comfort of, the wife, the stability, the protection, what a woman is supposed to feel in her castle, what a woman is supposed to feel. You said you have a child, so I'm sure there's comforts and safety for your child as well. To get that wholesome picture, there has to be a union. And for that union to take place, there has to be a relationship first. You're not at a stage where you have entered a relationship yet. You have to first enter one and carry it through with dedication. And when two people are working at that well, and it is successful, then commitment comes into play as far as a marital level. And at that point, you can look at your marital future. You're not ready yet. So I don't mean to sound annoying or negative. You will be ready someday, absolutely. But today, you almost fell for a conniving person. I mean, you're very smart and you're not going to make that mistake again, but you kind of did. And the other one is not moving at a pace where he takes the stress away from it, because he hasn't said the words, hey, I want to date you. And that makes pressure on you because you don't want to be the one to say it. You want him to say it, but he doesn't. And at the same time, you respect that he doesn't. So it's been a very delayed game. I think so. It will all fall into place, but I think in a way that you can, that's healthy for you, that's good for you. Mini career reading? Yes, I can. So the timer just went off. This reading is complete. And I think you should look forward to 2026 in a positive way. I don't think you should think of it in a negative way. Yes, that's not a problem. Is Alice in the stream? No. Alice Becker? Okay. I was just looking to see your question. You know, like when you type a question, some people put the question, but that's not yours, that's somebody else. Okay, let's see. Paula, did you use Apple or Stripe or a Google Pay? I'm gonna open up the, give me 1 second. Because I gotta open up the other one to see your question to make sure I address your question the right way. It usually has like an area there where you, okay. Okay. Okay, sweetheart, no worries. Did you use, was it Apple Pay or Google Pay or Venmo, Stripe? Do you know which one so I could open it up? As I usually get, I have to look in the different order forms, the different apps that give me the transactions. Let me check this one. You said it was Apple Pay, right? Let me check on Apple. No, I haven't gotten it. Is there like, did you use Apple or PayPal or? I haven't gotten it. I can check in the dashboard, the transaction dashboard if you'd like. No, it hasn't come in. Sometimes it takes a little bit, I think, with Apple. And Google too. Google Pay can be a little bit slow too. Let's see. All right, here we go. Okay, yes, I see it. Let me go ahead and pull up your question. Okay, let's find out. I'm reading the dice a minute here. So it looks like there are some debts that get paid. So this is good because it brings a person into some change. We're going to get a little bit more specific, but this is when a person is able to pay off some things. So, okay. Yeah, I will definitely. Okay. Paula, do you know your rising sign in astrology? A person has their horoscope sign, their moon sign, and their rising sign. Those are the most important three with destiny. Okay. 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 Where did it go? Oh, let me get that 1 second. Where did it go? Where did it go? Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, let's get into most of this reading. Let's get into this. So first of all, the beginning of the reading starts with a friend that kind of like recommends you or gives you an idea or something. So this is when a friend either motivates you, hey, I heard about this job over here, why don't you fill out? Or let's say you talk to the person and you say, hey, I left an application. Oh, I remember you. How are you? And you get friendly with them. In some way, shape, or form, a friendly situation leads you to a new job. Are you going to get a job as a what they call a legal assistant? Yes, you are going to get one. Okay. So you will be successful at it. I don't know if it'll be the first one you fill out at, or the second one you fill out for, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, but you will get one in 2026. So keep applying and keep pursuing that fortuitously with a go-getter mentality, because you are getting one. Now, remember that I said that a recommendation or a friendly conversation or a friendly input in some way, friendliness helps open a door for you. Okay? So that is, there's nothing for you to do. That's just letting you know that that is a part of it. Now, let's talk about the workplace. When you start off there, you're going to be envied by a woman or looked at like, like when someone's like rude and they put their ugly face. Did I make an ugly face? I love that. So anyway, I have all kinds of weird faces I make. But anyway, so there's going to be this woman that just looks at you like, and unfortunately, offices have a gossiper, and sometimes there's a sweet one, and sometimes there's one that eavesdrops, nosy, it is what it is. People are people. And it's just one that, just for some reason, maybe she gets jealous about your bracelet, or maybe it's your handbag, or maybe it's your pretty hair, or I don't know. But there's something that annoys her, and it is what it is. There's some kind of jealousy factor there, some kind of envy. Not a big deal, but it's just showing that you're going to, it's not going to be perfect, but work is work, or if not, it wouldn't be called work. And this also talks about you're going to have some stability where you start. So if you're patient and you put your all into it, you're going to have stability there. You're going to be liked by your boss in a friendly way, in a respectful, friendly employee way. he's going to help you. So this shows that an attorney with a lot of knowledge ends up, is finding out that, you're a widow, and you're trying to get back on your feet. There's a lot of things you've been going through, and he lets you know out of nowhere one day. Maybe one day you strike up a conversation about taxes, or maybe one day you have a conversation about assets or liabilities or whatever, and it catches his attention, and he says, "Oh, really? Have you looked into what blah 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 blah?" And you're like, "No." And he tells you, "Well, you can be compensated for this and this and this, right?" And you don't know that. So he helps you fill out paperwork that helps you, find more deductible things, or maybe there's a way to get you extra money at the end of the year. I don't know, but he helps you get that going, which helps you because I see financial gain from him helping you with something that you weren't aware of that you can be eligible for. Okay, maybe it's some type of exemption, or maybe, I don't know. This also talks about a man. Besides this situation, there's another situation showing up here where I don't know if it's much further down the line or if it's around this time. I'm not sure, because you have to go through this in chronological order. First, you have to fill out for the jobs, then you have to find the job and interview, and then start the job, and then be friendly with everybody. So you got to let this play out. But somewhere in there's a man showing up that he might be a Leo, or there's something very Leo about him. He finds you attractive. This could be another boss. So this might show me that you could end up getting another part-time at some point as well, because maybe today you can't because of your schedule and you can only work part-time, but there's something here that shows that at some point there's something else that you add to the picture. And maybe you do have 2 different part-times that you enjoy, because the first one seems to me very stable for you. They like you, you do a good job. Nothing's perfect in the office culture, but you have potential there. But this new guy seems it is a boss. And I'm trying to figure out if it's that he likes you, or maybe it's not that he's your boss. Don't mix the jobs. The one where you start and you're stable and the guy and the lawyer helps you out and you end up getting more pay, that is one thing. This is another connection. This other connection, I'm seeing a man that is very well positioned in his life. He's got money, stability, he's single. He's attracted to you, but I'm not showing that it is a romance at all. I'm showing that, and if it would be, you're not ready at this point, because this doesn't turn into a romance. However, I'm trying to see what role he plays. Is it something that he ends up helping you, get longer hours, or maybe like a promotion or something? I don't know. Let me see. Oh my goodness, let me go get the room. They're always falling. Hang on. I'm not sure, because this is a man that you maybe start seeing. So a relationship is different than, this is very, very complicated. Give me one second. I'm trying to figure out where this comes from. So Obviously your love life and all of that is your business. And whether you date a few people or you don't, or you have, relation, some women, divide like what's kind of friends with benefit thing and whatever. It's all your business. No, but you got to realize I'm trying to figure out like who this guy is. I don't see a relationship where it's a committed boyfriend, girlfriend, dating. He knows your family, you know his, the traditional relationship. I'm not seeing that's what this is. But it could be a person that gets involved with you in some way, or is interested. And I'm trying to see if he's a client of the attorney you work for at this point in the future, or if you meet him traveling somewhere because you're dropping off something for your boss or something like that. I'm trying to see like what role this plays, and I'm trying to open that up a little bit. Yeah, it could be a different job, yeah. No, it's not a boss, and it's not a client of the man, of the person you work for. So, and this is traveling. This is like a different location or something. So I'm trying to see. It's coming in with finances. So let me see. Okay. Okay, we're going to leave it at that because this is getting into some uncomfortable stuff that I'm not comfortable with. But I am going to address it. I am going to address it. So the reading for the most part talks about you. So 2026, to answer your question, will you be, what does 2026 looks for you financially? So to answer your question, it looks like you lift yourself financially and you open doors for yourself. You become more stable. It also is very refreshing for you because it also talks about, forming a new environment, a work environment. you know, getting, you know, lifting yourself financially. So they're very positive. It's in baby steps. So it's very, very good, very rewarding. And you're also going to enjoy it too. You also are going to open doors by networking and, you know, learn a lot of things just by your job itself that you're going to have. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And you're also going to reap the rewards. Something else pops up later on. And because now I understand the connection, the reading is financial. And apparently you had to go through this financial change by meeting new people, going to a new office environment every day. You know, this in itself is a very big game changer in energy around you during the day, your focus. This had to happen for you, or has to happen in the future, for you to start carving a new path with progress with the love part. All right. So something sort of love comes in here, and it's a little bit awkward to talk about, but I will mention it. Again, you don't have to say any details or anything like that because that's your business, but it is coming up. Later on, at some point, after you've already been working at the new job for a while, you take some kind of travel somewhere, which I don't mean like vacation. I mean like maybe you travel to drop something off one day for the job you have, or maybe you go out of town like a short commute to pick up some items, or you know, whatever. And in your everyday commute, so if you are not used to leaving maybe your county, maybe you go a couple cities over, maybe it's like just an hour drive, whatever, maybe less than that. But in some of your commutes that you're going to be having, it talks about you meeting a guy who, it's very weird to mention, but there's some kind of affair. So there's not a relationship coming out of it, but the guy is married, and I know you wouldn't get involved with anyone married, so you know, you don't have to mention that. That's obvious. But there's something where, you know, I just want to say be aware of who you get involved with romantically, because there's something not honest in this situation. So this is one of those situations where I'm kind of seeing like not a good idea, to be careful because, right. So on the outside, he looks like a perfect gentleman and he's got money. He has a nice car, he's jewelry, he's you could tell he has money. He's a sharp dresser. You know, he's got money. And he's romantic, but he's secretive, and this is someone who's not being honest with their marital status. So if you don't recognize or realize things, you can always hire a PI if you don't want to trust this reading or any flag that you may not see. You can always hire a PI, and that's public record if someone's married or not. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist, you know. So this is easy things that you can find outside the spiritual realm, you know, despite the fact I'm telling you, you know, this is something you can easily find yourself, you know, without doubt, so that you don't hop into a situation that is not at all what, you know, what aligned with you, what you want. All right. And this talks about that being misled by a married man. Okay. But the reason he shows up, he didn't show up in the love part because it's really not a love relationship. And he didn't show up as a relationship answer because it doesn't end up a relationship. And the reason he ends up in the financial reading is because due to the financial changes and jobs in your life that you are going to live through, that leads you to meet him. So it's those changes in your schedule that end up making you cross paths. Okay? However that is. So it's more related to your financial life than your love life, because it's not really love. you know, and you're not involved. Because if you were involved with him right now, he would have showed up in the love reading. You don't have feelings for this person because you don't know him yet. You don't know him. So that's why it's more detached and coming in the other part of the reading, okay? So that's what, so yes, that's how you describe your financial outlook for 2026, which is not bad. New changes, new people, new work, new knowledge, learning a lot, having fun. I mean, at work is work and it's hard, but you know, it's also rewarding. And of course, a couple of, like the rude person I saw in the office, it's not a big deal. It gives you a sense of purpose again, and it also is very therapeutic to get up and, you know, and work at something that you enjoy, you know. All right, sweetheart, thank you so much. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, I forgot. There's something structurally, I forgot, you reminded me, there's something in the reading that showed up where you may not be aware of it, but there's something structurally going on with something in where you are, so you're home now, that could be costly in the future. So this is one of those things where, because you asked about finances in 2026, and this talks about when a person is either living in a space or getting a new space that can have unnoticed constructional flaws that end up costing a great deal of money. So a roof, a leak, pipes breaking. Okay, I was going to say pipes. Yeah. Okay, water leak. Okay. Yeah. So it can get worse and cost you more. Oh, okay. Okay. So this, because it did come up in the reading. There is, there could be another situation. Okay. Rigged it, huh? Wow. So there's another situation where it's letting you know in the reading it can cost you more. So it's to alert you saying, hey, you think something was fixed, something can have another issue and cost you even more in 2026. So as you're growing, you can also have, right. So eventually either it can cause further damage. Yeah, you got to be aware, because this is talking about something costing you more that can be prevented. So if you have a home inspection, or which is not that much, or you have, you know, maybe like an inspector or maybe another type of plumber or something, evaluate something that you think is not well working right, that would be worth it, because you can take preventative methods, because this talks about damage that's unseen, unforeseen, causing a problem. All right, and that was in the reading as well. All right, sweetheart. Okay, so remember that if it depends on the legalities of apartments, whether there's insurance, things that are in your lease. A lot of it is bylaws. If it's a condo / rental, private owner, whatever. If you got to find out, because sometimes you could be at fault if you cause a leak or whatever. You gotta, it all depends on contracts, paperwork, where you're at. You can also, you know, if you have questions, there's also attorneys that specialize in condominiums or rental apartments as well, because it's not always the landlord. It depends on the agreements and all of that, especially if it's a condo building with bylaws that also rents out, and that's even a more complicated situation. Yeah. All right. And it can all be prevented, and you'll be working for an attorney, so they'll be able to address more things for you, which is good. Another reason why your job is going to be rewarding, because you'll get free tips. All right, sweetheart. Thank you and happy holidays. Bye, guys. Thanks for being part of the live.